The worst rating you can get is okay. Not 1 star, not bad review, and not even someone telling you they hated it. Okay, hate means the work got inside them to produce a reaction. You still can work with that. You can learn from that. The signal is still there. But okay? Okay means they watched, listened, looked, and the work passed straight through them and left no trace. You were never in the room. Now think about what's happening right now in creative work. AI gives you speed, real speed. The kind that used to take a team, a budget, a week, you can now do alone in one afternoon. And that's genuinely powerful. I use it every day. It has changed what is possible for a single person. But here's the thing that nobody talks about clearly enough. Speed gets you to that okay faster than ever before. You can generate more, iterate more, publish more, and if there's nothing underneath guiding the emotion of what you are making, you are just producing invisible work at scale. Faster nothing is still nothing. And in a world where everybody has access to same tools, where the technical ceiling is gone for almost everyone, only thing that separates the work that stays with someone from work that disappears is whether it made them feel something real. And that's what we are getting into today. Not how to use AI faster, how to make sure what you built with it actually lands. There's an old rule in business: when you sell B2B, sell money, but when you sell B2C, sell emotion. Show up to a boardroom with a pitch that ends in black numbers and you have done your job. But here's what that rule misses about creative work. Creative work doesn't end in boardroom. It ends at the person. A business signs the check, but a human watches, listens, reads, feels. That's where the work either lands or doesn't. And at that point, the only currency that matters is emotion. But not emotion in some spiritual sense. Emotion as mechanism. The thing that makes a person act, buy, click, remember, talk about it at dinner. Emotion is not decoration on top of creative work. It's the engine inside it. When someone responds to what you made, there are really only 3 places they can land. They love it. That's the target. That's proof the work connected. Build on it. They hate it. And here's the thing. If they actually tell you, there is still path forward, because hate means they cared enough to react. Something got through just wrong, and you can learn from that. But the third one, the middle, it's okay, it's fine, or just nothing. That's the one that kills you. Not loudly, silently, because they didn't care. There was nothing to grab onto, nothing to push back against. The work passed through them and left no trace. And here's why this matters so much now. With AI in the picture, the floor has risen and the ceiling is gone. AI-assisted work looks polished, sounds clean, moves well, but polish is not emotion. Technically impressive, but emotionally empty is the most dangerous place you want to be, because it gets you exactly that response. Okay, and okay is invisible. So how do you actually engineer emotion into what you make? This is where most AI creative content stops. Here's the prompt, here's the tool, and here's the output. Done. But the output is only as emotionally loaded as the thinking that went into directing it. And that thinking has name. It's not mysterious. And it's not talent that you are born with. It's simply fundamentals. Composition, pacing, contrast, tension, release. These aren't abstract design theory. They are the architecture of how humans respond to things. They work because we are wired for them. They have worked for centuries across every medium, and they work just as hard inside AI creative content. Composition tells the eye where to look and what to feel before a single word is spoken. Pacing tells your nervous system whether to lean in or brace. Tension is the thing that makes someone unable to look away. When you direct AI output with these principles actively in mind, not as a checklist, but as a creative lens, the work stops being only technically impressive. It starts being emotionally loaded. And that's the difference between work that gets okay and work that stays with someone for days. I'll be honest about something. Early in my career, I did work that was technically solid, clean, competent, well executed, let's say, and still I got quite a lot of okay, maybe one too many times. And I couldn't figure out why. Because I was thinking about the output and not about the person on the other side of it. That shift from making something that looks good to making something that lands on a specific human being in a specific emotional state, that's the whole game. What changed it wasn't better tool, and it wasn't any faster workflow. It was going deep enough into fundamentals that I started thinking about emotion first, before the first frame, before the first prompt, before anything. What do I want this person to feel? When exactly? And what's the mechanism that gets them there? Those three questions asked before anything else change everything that comes after. And here's why this matters even more now. The floor has risen, ceiling is gone, everyone has access to tools that produce polished results. So the differentiator is not who has better AI. They are all good now. It's who is thinking more clearly about the human on the other side. That's a craft question, not a technology question. And craft is learnable deliberately at any stage of your career. And that's what I am building toward. And if you want to go deeper on this with me, I'm putting together something called Full Stack and Synthetic, a framework, a newsletter, a way of thinking about creative work in the AI era that starts with the human. Link is in the description. No noise, no hype, just real work. So here's what I want you to take from this. Indifference is the one reaction you cannot fix. Love, you build on. Hate, you learn from. But okay, it means you were never in the room. The floor has risen, ceiling is gone, and in that environment, the only thing that cuts through is the work that makes someone feel something real. Not impressive, not polished, although it could be that also, but it needs to be real. That was always the standard, and AI just made it the only one that matters. See you in the next one.